Chris, are you there? Yeah, that screen's blank again. Not sure why. Oh, okay. Ah, I see. Okie coke. Awesome. Thank you. Did nobody zoom in before, in the class before? No. Interesting. Right, so it's okay. Guess we'll talk about this Saturday again. So Jen and Chris are doing something called Heroes for Heroes. So Saturday morning, Jen's going to be teaching power and flex, and Chris and Jen are both going to be in superhero costumes. So if you'd like to join them and show us your amazing superhero costumes as well, then please do. It's £5 for the class. And it's all for an amazing cause. So for the Sheffield's Children Hospital charity. So yeah, get involved. Apparently Rosie's wearing a bin bag, so I might tune in just for that. What did I love about my yoga teacher training? Well, I really liked actually just having my day planned for me. it was really nice to just surrender to someone else having control of my schedule for some reason. And I actually really enjoyed getting up at 6 o'clock every morning to meditate as well. I might have fallen asleep during a few meditations, but still enjoyed it. And what else? Oh yeah, so I went to Bali for my yoga teacher training, and they believe in quite a lot of, like spiritual stuff there. And we had like a healer who came in to analyse our chakras. So that was quite interesting. So he gave me really positive news. Apparently all my chakras are really open, and I've got a very optimistic future ahead of me. So I'll happily have my chakras analysed by him again. Okay, so my favourite stretch. What were we talking about the other day? Oh yeah, so prone scorpion, anything that stretches out the chest and shoulders, because I get really gnarly shoulders. Do a lot of planking and press ups, as you might have noticed. And anything to also just stretch out the piriformis and the glutes as well. They get pretty tight. So yeah. Oh, hello, who is this? Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing? Just noticed your little face pop up on the screen. I can't really hear you though. Not sure if you muted yours. If you said anything. Oh, cool. Ah, okay. No worries. Welcome. Hope you all. Oh, some more people have zoomed in. There's Paul. Hi, Paul. And then there is also, I'm going to try and say this right. Ashley. Yay! I've always wondered, yeah, do you know what, I only found out how to say that properly the other day because I saw it in the credits of this program. Because I think it's Irish, isn't it? Yeah, and I bet loads of people call you Aisling. So, yeah. Hey! Very pleased about that. Oh, we're going to get started pretty soon. Okay, so we've got 40 seconds left on the clock. How are you doing today, Ashley? Are you alright? Yeah, good. Thanks for taking the time to come in from the sunshine to join in. Just got 20 seconds left. Yay, more people! Oh, hi Flora! How are you doing? Lovely seeing everyone's face. Chris, I can't hear you, you're muted. Do you want me to start now? I'll start now then. Okay, cheers. Sorry. We've yet to get this bit right, guys, so when exactly we start. Okay, so welcome to Flex 7, all right, so this was quite a while ago actually, probably about from 14 months ago, okay? So we've got some pretty unusual movements here, so I'm liking those. I like my unusual movements, but really challenging and varied at the same time. Okay, so let's get started in our wide-legged child's pose. So knees at mat width apart, the toes are touching at the back, the arms reach forward, and we bring the forehead and chest towards the floor. Once your forehead is on the floor, then slowly creep the fingers forward. Okay, so we're just really extending the arms and the lats and the muscles in the lower back as well. Okay, just feel them stretching and lengthening there. Okay, and then once you can't stretch anymore, allow the elbows to just fall onto the floor. Feel the glutes just sink towards the heels as well. Let's bring focus to our belly breathing now, our deep yogic breathing. So inhaling into the stomach first, and then further inhaling into the chest. Okay, getting that double breath in, nice and deep. And then as we exhale, we allow all the air to slowly flow out through the nose, and we feel everything just deflate and sink. 5 more deep breaths now, releasing more tension from the body with each breath. So just allow any worries or busy thoughts to be left behind you for the next 45 minutes. Allow yourself to focus on your breath and body. 2 more breaths here, deepest ones. Inhale and exhale. Up on next breath, lift your forehead up from the floor and then shift your hands towards you. From here, you're going to bring your shoulders over the hands and then separate the feet. Bring your knees underneath the hips and take your tabletop position. Okay, so a little squeeze of the core here, keeping that lovely straight back. From here, we're going to start to circle the hips and the shoulders. So try to keep your hands flat on the floor, so we're firmly gripping onto the floor with the fingers evenly. We're stretching out the forearms and the wrists here as we circle. Okay, one more breath here, one breath per circle. And then come back into the center. Now, same thing, but anti-clockwise. So for 5, maybe this time you want to sink right back with the glutes till they're touching the heels onto the side as well. 2 more circles here for 2. And for 1. Okay, coming back into the center to your tabletop. So from here, we're going to do some tigers. So it's a little bit like a cat-cow, but with one leg lifted. So it's just designed to mobilize the spine for us here. So from here, as we inhale, we're going to lift the right leg into the air. We ground into that left knee here, and then we flex the spine. So we almost want to tap the back of our head with that foot there. But notice how my hips don't open up to the side. I'm pinning my hips down for that alignment here. As I exhale, I'm then going to extend the spine and bring the knee towards my nose. Okay, 3 more of these now. Inhale, flex spine. Okay, toe tapping back of head. And then exhale, crunch, extending spine. 2 more now. Inhale, slow and strong movements. And exhale. Last one now, really squeezing that glute and holding that foot behind the head for a second before exhaling, slowly releasing. And then pop your knee back onto the floor. Reset in your tabletop, and then let's do it on the other side now. Are you ready? Shifting weight into right leg, and then lifting that left knee. Inhale, flex spine. Exhale, crunch. 3 more of these. Inhale, keep that core pinned. And let's see if we can even out the weight between both hands. You might find that you shift mostly into one hand as you move. 2 more. Inhale. Bit more squeeze of that glute there. 1 more breath. Inhale. Hold. And then exhale, crunch. Tight as you can. Alright, knee back onto the floor. And then take your tabletop once more. From here, tuck your toes underneath. Take an inhalation here. And then as we exhale, lift your hips into the air. Squeeze the abs. Hollow out the lower back. Bring the heels. Drive them towards the floor here. Doesn't matter if you can't touch the floor with them. If you've got really tight hamstrings and you can have a soft bend in the knees, maybe you want to bring your feet slightly more towards your hands just to feel a little bit more comfortable and stable. And then from here, start to pedal out the feet. So we're just stretching out the backs of the legs and the lower back and the glutes as well. Also into the calves. Try to allow the head to just hang. Let it relax. Be quite free in your movement here. Okay, we're just warming up and loosening up. 2 more deep breaths for 2. And last breath. Alright. Hitting both heels back down, stabilizing, maybe turning the heels out slightly to open up the sit bones. Inhalation here. And then as we exhale, we shift our shoulders over our hands and slowly roll forwards into that plank. Now, in your plank, if at any point you need to come onto your knees or your forearms, that's cool, yeah? 3 breaths here. Really plant the hands onto the floor. Push the floor away. Dome the upper back. Send those hips down and squeeze the glutes. 2 more breaths. Bring those abs to the back of the spine. 1 more breath. And then inhale here. And then exhale, shift your weight forwards and lower into chaturanga. So the chest lowers towards the floor, elbows to ribs. If this is too much for you, then bring the knees, chest and chin to the floor, hips up into the air. Inhale, scoop to up dog, grounding into hands, lifting chin and chest. maybe even throwing the head back slightly, but keeping shoulders away from the ears. And then exhaling back into that downward facing dog. All right, so one more time with our vinyasa flow. So everything we've just done, but a little bit more quickly and smoothly. Inhale here in down dog. Exhale, shift into your plank. One inhalation here, keeping strong. Exhale, shift forwards to chaturanga, slowly lowering. Hold for a second, and then inhale, scoop to up dog. Exhale, roll on the toes if possible, and take your downward dog once again. All right, well done. So we're going to come into plank next. If you know that you need to have a little rest before then feel free to do so. Okay, so from here, exhale, shift forwards into plank. So we're going to do some toe rolls, right? So we're just stretching into the forearms and also working the shoulders and wrists. So as I inhale, keeping my hips still, I'm going to roll right onto the tippy toes and bring my shoulders in front of the wrists. As I exhale, I roll back to my original starting position and I really press my heels to the back of the mat here. Everything is engaged. 3 more of these. Inhale, tippy toes, rolling forwards. Exhale back. Stay strong, guys. All right, 1 more to go. Inhale forwards. And exhale back. Okay, from here, lift the hips into the air, taking your downward facing dog again. Now in your downward dog, let's take a check of a few points here. So the feet want to be hip width apart. We want to hug our triceps towards one another so that we activate all of the arms all of the muscles in the upper arms. And then we also want to continually bring the hips up towards the ceiling. Once you feel stable, inhale and lift up the right leg. And then we're going to open up into a scorpion. So we're going to bend that right leg and then open up the hips. We stack them on top of one another. Squeeze your right glute to keep opening the hips here. All right, and then as we exhale, we're going to come into a knee to shoulder drive. So exhaling, as we exhale, the knee floats towards our right shoulder. So we want to get it as high up on the arm as possible, nice and slowly, guys. That's it. Hold for a second, and then inhale all the way back up. So it's like you're doing it in slow motion. 2 more of these. Exhale, knee to shoulder. Shoulders over hands, keeping that core tight. And inhale all the way up. Okay, 1 more, slowest one you can manage. Exhale. And inhale all the way back up to scorpion. And then exhale, plant both feet down again. Take your downward dog. And then we're going to do it on the other side now. So from here, inhale, lift up the left leg, open up the hips, squeeze that left glute. Exhale, flowing knee to shoulder. Nice and slowly, hold. Can you get it a little bit higher this time? Inhale, all the way back up again. Make sure you open up every time. And then exhale. 1 more to go. Slowest one. Inhale. And exhale. All right, from here, step back into your plank. And then come onto your forearms, guys. Give your wrists a little bit of relief. Come onto the knees if you need to. So relax your hands. From here, we're going to do some commando planks. Right, so walking planks, basically. We're going from low plank to high plank to low plank to high plank. Right, so from here, as we inhale, we place the elbows with the hands and come into our high plank. You want to keep your hips as stable as possible. As we exhale, we come back onto the forearms. So it's a slow, controlled movement, silently as possible. All right, so 3 of these. Inhale. And exhale down. 2 more now. Keep your hips down. Don't let them rock about too much. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more to go, guys. Looking really good. Inhale. And exhale. Woo. All right, well done. Pop your knees onto the floor, guys. Give your wrists a little bit of a shake out, okay? And then just crisscross the arms. Shake them out a little bit. I'm sure they need it. Okay. And then whenever you're ready, come back into your plank. You can take a longer rest if you want to. Just join back in whenever you're ready. Okay, are you ready for your vinyasa now? Inhale here in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop to up dog. Exhale, flow to down dog. Take one inhalation here and then bend the knees. As we exhale, we're going to jump or step the feet onto the outsides of the hands here, coming into a squat. Okay, so heels onto the floor. If this is too much for your hips, then you can always use a brick to sit on. Okay, or you can just come into a half squat. So from here, hands off the floor and then bring hands to center of chest. Really want to lift the chest, bringing elbows onto the insides of the knees, prying them apart gently and bringing my weight into my heels. Try to relax the hips. 2 more breaths here. Lift the chest for 2. 1 more breath. And for 1. Okay, from here we're going to come into a twisted yogi squat. So the right hand comes onto the outside of the right foot, tent the fingers or hand flat, okay, whatever feels good. And then from here the left arm reaches up, we open up, pressing this knee outwards with the shoulder again, and then we extend the arm, stacking shoulders if we can, for 3. Keep breathing, guys. For 2. And for 1. Okay, from here, untwist, and then we swap sides. So this time the left hand comes onto the outside of the left foot, and the right arm reaches up. Now you might find that one side is more difficult than the other. That's pretty natural. For 3, keep pushing the knees out, keep sinking back into the heels. For 2, keep rolling this right shoulder back. And last breath. All right, from here, slowly untwist and then pop your hands onto the floor. Okay, so from here, we're going to jump back into a wide-legged down dog. So grounding into the hands, we squeeze the abs and then we jump back with the feet at mat width apart, taking a wide-legged down dog. Okay, so from here, we're going to do some froggy dog jumps. All right. So I'll show you what these are. So as I inhale, I'm going to squeeze my abs, bend the knees, and then jump the feet onto either side of the hands. As I exhale, I jump back into that downward dog. So we're going to do 3 of those. Are you ready? Using the abs. Inhale, bend knees, and jump for 3. And then exhale, jump back. Nice and quietly, guys. Trying to soften your landing every time. For 2. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more, really sinking into the hips as we come to that squat. Inhale and exhale. All right, well done. Now, once you've done your 3rd one, bring your feet underneath the hips, taking your standard down dog again. Take an inhalation here, slow the breath down. And then exhale, shift forwards into your plank. Good. Take an inhalation here, and then as we exhale, shift forwards and lower to chaturanga, slowly as possible, and then eventually allow the whole body to just flop onto the floor. Oh, nice little bit of rest here on our fronts. Okay, so we're going to move into some back bending next, and some back work. Okay, so reach forwards with the arms. Okay. Roll the shoulders back. The shoulders want to stay relaxed. From here, we're going to fist the hands, right? And then using your lower back and pinning hips to floor, we're going to lift the chest off the floor. So it's kind of like a Superman position here. Yeah. All right, take an inhalation here, and then as we exhale, we're going to bring the elbows to the ribs, so we're squeezing the lats, the muscles underneath the shoulder blades there. Okay, 5 of these. Inhale, lengthen the arms, keeping that chest lifted. Exhale, bringing elbows to the ribs. For 4. Exhale as we bend the elbows. For 3, inhale. And exhale. For 2. Keep an eye on that breath, guys. And for 1, you should be feeling heat building up in those lats. And last one. And then release. Extend the arms once more. We're going to come into something called swimmers. Okay, so as I inhale, the arms are extended. I squeeze my left glute and then lift the opposite arm and leg. Okay, hold for a second and then exhale, slowly lower. And then from here, I do the opposite side. Inhale, lift as high as possible, keeping the hips down. Try not to open up to the side as we lift. And then exhale, lower. Okay, so 3 on each side now. Inhale, lifting as high as we can. Exhale. Two more now. Really trying to lengthen the body here. So reach forwards with that arm and point your toe if you want to as well, keeping everything active. 1 more to go. Inhale. Last one on this side. And exhale. Alright, so from here, bring your hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes underneath. Tuck your elbows towards the ribs. And then from here, grounding into the hands, lift into your up dog. So roll the shoulders back, lift the chin and chest, lengthen the neck, guys. And then as we exhale, roll on the toes and come back into your down dog. Okay, so from here, we've got a load of balancing and lunging movements now. So let's start by inhaling and lifting the right leg. And then as we exhale, a slow thread of the knee towards chest, shifting shoulders over the hands. We then pop our foot in between the hands here. No worries if you don't quite make it, it's okay to take an extra step or 2 there. And then from here, we're going to slowly rise, bring the hands off the floor into our runner's lunge. Okay, so back leg is relatively straight and strong, and our front knee wants to be at a 90-degree angle. Push that front knee outwards and squeeze your abs, tuck your glutes underneath the hips. From here, inhale, arms rise up. And then as we exhale, we're going to sweep them back, palms facing down, and then tip the nose over the knee. So that is a flowing runner's lunge, guys. We're going to do that 3 times, all right? Inhale, rise, arms extend, straightening the body. Exhale, tip forwards to that 45-degree angle, palms facing down. 2 more. Inhale, keeping the legs strong and still. Exhale. 1 more to go. Inhale, really sending those arms and shoulders back. And exhale. All right, from here, inhale 1 more time. And then exhale, pop your hands onto either side of your front foot here. And then if you want, you can also tent the fingers as you ground into the front foot and then lift that left leg into there, into your standing splits. All right, so really try and squeeze your left leg to keep, so your left glute to keep that leg in the air. Now you can stay here and hold your split, or you can take crunches with me. So inhale here, and then exhale, crunch, knee to nose. Inhale, lift for 3. Keep the hips square as much as you can. For 2, breathe, guys. 1 more to go. Inhale, and exhale. Okay, from here, still grounded into that right foot, we're going to slowly rise and come into an angel pose. So arms are stretched out to the side here. We open the chest, the palms are relaxed, and then from here, the left leg comes behind us, it shoots behind us, and we squeeze that left glute. That's it. This is your angel pose. Okay, so these are your wings, and you really want to try and keep your core tight here. Okay, so we don't want to hyperextend the back even though we're lifting the chest. 2 more breaths for 2. Come on, you can do it, guys. If you need to tap down with that back foot, that's cool as well. And last breath. All right, from here, staying balanced on that leg. Now interlock your hands. Keep trying, guys, behind you. And then bring knee to chest. This is called a purity pose. Not sure why at all, okay? I'll leave you to figure that out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep lifting the hands and keep trying to get that knee a little bit closer towards the chest, using the abs. Avoid leaning back, okay? Keep yourself upright here. For 3. For 2, you can do it, guys. Even if you're shaking, you can breathe through it. And 4, 1. All right, release your hands, bring hands to heart, and then step back with that left leg. Plant it nice and lightly behind you. Have your feet about hip width apart in your lunge to stay stable. Sink down into the hips, straighten that back leg. And then once you feel stable, we're going to come into a twisted lunge. So the left elbow comes onto the outside of the right knee. And then try to ensure that the hands are as close to the center of the chest as possible. If you want, you can even lift that elbow off the knee to engage the core even more. 2 more breaths for 2. Keep twisting and opening, staying strong. And 1 more breath. All right, from here, back foot meets front foot. Everything else stays the same. We sink down into our twisted chair. All right, take a look at your knees. Try to make sure that they're still lined up with one another. One's not riding in front of the other. For 3. Deep breaths, guys, sinking into the heels. Feeling that energy in the backs of the legs there. For 2. And for 1. Okay, so from here, the left leg steps behind us and across, taking our curtsy lunge. The front leg stays bent. That's it, long step back, guys. So this move is designed to make you topple. So no worries if you do wobble a bit, it's supposed to do that. You just have to work your core and your glute a little bit harder. 2 more breaths for 2. That's it, well done. And 1 more breath. Okay, slowly untwist. Pop your left fingertips onto the floor here. Straighten out your lunge, so left leg comes on back onto the mat. And then we're going to flip over into our wild thing. So this front foot here comes off the floor. We ground into that left hand, and then we flip over, bringing the hips into the air, and the right foot onto the floor on the side of the mat. We extend the right arm, lengthening out the front of the body. If this is too much for your arm, guys, come onto your left knee into kneeling wild thing. Just make sure you continue to open the chest and hips to the sky. 3 deep breaths for 3. Keep reaching, keep rotating. For 2. Looks good, guys. And for 1. All right, slowly flipping back over. Bring your right foot back in between your hands. Slowly rise. And then turn to face the side of your mat, the left side for me. Doesn't matter if you do the other side, just as long as you balance it out. If you're at home and you're not on the left side like me. Okay, so pigeon your feet slightly, so turn your toes inwards. This will help you get more of a hamstring stretch here. Interlock your hands together, roll your shoulders back, okay, and squeeze, bring the hands into the air, open the chest. Inhale here, and then as we exhale, hinge forwards, allowing the head to drop and the spine to lengthen. Keep sending the shoulders away from the ears and the arms active. Now, if you find that your head is nowhere near the floor, you can widen out the feet a little bit. So, 3 deep breaths for 3. Keep the arms active. Feel the backs of the legs opening up. Soft bend in the knees at all times, never locking out. For 2. And one more breath. Okay, release your hands and then pop your hands onto the floor and then walk your hands back towards the front of the mat. Turn your feet so that both of your toes are pointing to the front of the mat. We're going to take a long stride pyramid. So the back toes are lifted off the floor and then we come onto the heel of our front foot. Okay, now if you need to bend both knees, that's cool, yeah? If you've got quite tight hamstrings, you will need to do that. And then from here, take an inhalation, tent the fingers on the floor, fingertips, and then exhale, allow the nose to come to knee. Feeling that deep hamstring stretch in that front leg for 3. Keep relaxing, guys, feeling that lengthening of the leg. For 2. If it's too much for you to flex your front foot, you can always just pop your foot onto the floor flat. 1 more breath now. And 4. All right, foot flat onto the floor, fingers flat onto the floor, and then step back into that plank. Oh, give the legs a little bit of a shake out and let's vinyasa. Ready for everything on the other side now. Inhale here in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop to up dog. Exhale, flow to down dog. Okay, you ready for that runner's lunge flow? Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, slow thread of foot in between hands, nice and gently. Slowly rise, straightening out the back leg. Inhale, arms rise. Everything is tight, nice straight back. As we exhale, we throw the arms back, palms facing down, nose over knee. 3 of these. Inhale. Exhale. For 2. Really send those arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Focus on breath. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, you ready for that transition to standing splits? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands tense onto the floor in line with that front foot, and then we lift and ground into that left leg, squeezing that right glute, lifting. Now you can hold here or take knee crunches with me. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. 1 more to go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. From here, slowly rise, fingertips off the floor, still grounded into that left leg. Open the arms, angel pose once again. Right leg squeezes and lifts behind us. Try to square your hips off to the front of the mat, so you don't want to open up or twist to the side here. That's it. Lift the chest, squeeze the core. 2 more breaths, keeping that engagement of the right glute for 2. Opening right up. And last breath. Okay, now interlock your hands behind the back and then bring your knee towards the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the hands. Keeping that core alignment now. Remember, no tipping back for 3. All forwards. A little bit higher if you can. For 2. You can do this, breathe through it. And last breath, looking good, guys. All right, unbind the hands, bring hands to heart, and then step back nice and gently into that lunge. Sink down into your strong lunge, straighten out the back leg, push the front knee out again. 1 inhalation here, and then exhale, bring right elbow onto the outside of the left knee. Oh, I forgot to say before, if this is a little bit too much for you, then you can always pop your right fingertips onto the floor on the inside of the foot and lift up like this. Just gives you a little bit of support there. Okay. And then if possible, you can even float the elbow off the knee for 3. Stay strong, guys, keep twisting and opening. Use your core to lift your torso here. Not sinking into the front leg too much. Okay, 1 more breath, continue to twist. Stay twisted and come into twisted chair. So back foot meets the front foot. Keeping that elbow on the outside of the knee, sinking down into the heels. Okay, and then possibly even lifting your toes a little bit just to stretch out the backs of the calves more. For 3, keep lifting the chest. For 2. And for 1. Okay, we are still twisted here, guys. Curtsy lunge. So right leg steps behind us and then across for 3. Oh, yep, feel that energy in that left glute there. Breathe through it. You're enjoying it, Flora. For 2. 1 more breath. Come on, stay strong. And then slowly untwist. Separate the hands. Pop your right hand onto the floor. Straighten out your lunge. And then with this left foot, lift it off the floor and flip over nice and gently into that wild thing. Good. Hips into the air, squeezing glutes. Slow rotation of chest. And then coming onto the knee if you need to for 3. For 2. Keep lengthening that arm, guys, and the front of the body. And for 1. Okay, from here, hands back onto the floor, and then threading that left foot in between the hands again. Coming into your wide-legged stance, slowly rising up. And then we're going to come into our wide-legged fold once more. Possibly playing with a headstand perhaps. Okay, so pigeon the feet if you want again, and then interlock hands behind back, roll shoulders back, hands into the air, and then exhale, fold forwards. From here, release the hands, pop the hands onto the floor, maybe widen out your feet again if your head isn't that close to the floor, and start to tip the weight forwards and backwards, so into the balls of the feet and into the heels. So you're just playing around with the tipping of the weight here, forwards and backwards. And you can stay here like this, or you can come into a little headstand, right? So I'm going to pop my head onto the floor, crown of head, slightly in front of my hand, so I've got a triangle shape, the points of a triangle between my head and hands here. And then from here, I'm going to tip my weight forwards into my head and into the balls of my feet, and then ground into the hands and slowly rise. Okay, so you don't have to take this position, you don't even have to try. You can just stick with the rolling of the weight in the feet there. Just 3 breaths, keeping the elbows tucked in. Last breath now. And then exhale, release. Oh, slowly roll back, guys. Okay, it might make you feel a little bit dizzy if you took that headstand. And then from here, walk your hands back towards the front of the mat. Toes pointing forwards again. Long stride pyramid once more. Back heels off the floor. Lifting the front toes off the floor if possible, no worries if not. Have a soft bend in the knees if you need. And then exhale, allow the nose to fall to the knee. 3 deep breaths for 3. Nose to knee. For 2. Looking good, guys. Feeling that lovely extension in the hamstring again. And for 1. Okay, now release your whole foot towards the floor, the front one that is. And then flatten your hands on the floor. Now step back into that plank. Woo. Give your hips a little bit of a shake out, a little bit of a wiggle out. Well done. Now time for vinyasa, or rest if you need to, guys. Inhale here in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, flow to down dog. So now we're going to transition into a pigeon. So let's start with the right leg. Inhale, right leg lifts. And then as we exhale, we float that right knee behind the right wrist. Okay, we settle down into the hips. So this left leg can lengthen, or if that's a little bit too much for you, then you can keep it bent and come into animals instead. So we're stretching out the right glute and hip here. Okay, gently rock from side to side. If you want to take a forward folded pigeon, you can. I'm just going to stick with an upright one. Okay, so gently rock from side to side. Relax that stretched leg. Let it open up for 3. For 2, gently pressing the open hip to the side there. And for 1. Now from here, sweep your back leg towards the front. And then from here, we're going to take a boat. So straight onto your tailbones, squeezing the core, lifting the chest. Relax the palms and the arms. The legs can be bent or straight. Or if that's too much for you, then tap your tiptoes onto the floor. All right, 3 deep breaths for 3. Keep lifting the chest. For 2, try not to allow the lower back to round. And for 1. Okay, from here, cross your legs, hands onto the floor, and then shift back into your downward dog. So unfold the legs, come back into your downward dog. 1 deep breath in down dog, and then we move into pigeon on the other side. Inhale, lift that left leg, and then exhale, float knee behind wrist. Lengthen out the leg, the right leg, or come into animal pose with a bent leg. That's it. And then from here, you can stay upright, rocking from side to side, or you can fold forwards to deepen into that pose. Completely up to you. Okay, 3 deep breaths now. For 3. For 2. Keep relaxing your stretched leg, sinking into hips. And for 1. Okay, from here, sweep your back leg round towards the front. And then widen out both legs. Okay, so we're coming into a sort of wide, into a straddle position here. All right, so from here, I'm going to place our right hand behind us. So fingertips pointing towards the back of the room here. And then from here with the left arm, I'm going to sweep it across the front, okay, over to the right foot here. And then as we come towards the back with the arm, we're going to ground into that right arm and lift into the air, hips into the air as well. And as we exhale, we slowly lower and sweep back towards the front. And we swap sides, guys. So left hand plants behind us, lift and stretch and reach, and then slowly lowering to the floor, really opening up the chest there, getting a little bit of core work going on in there as well. All right, inhale, lift, and exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift, try and make that circle that you draw with your arm even wider. Exhale, slowly lower. 1 more time on each side, guys. Inhale, lift. Exhale, slowly lower. Really extending that spine as we sweep forwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Coming back towards the front. And then slowly coming out of your fold. Now we're going to finish off with a wide-legged bound boat. So have the soles of your feet together first, and then with your hands you can either cup them around your feet or hook your peace fingers, your second and third fingers around your big toes. Then rock onto your tailbone, lift the chest here. Now if you want to stay here, then you can keep your hands just cupped around your feet. If you want to open up into a boat with me, then make sure that you've got your peace fingers around your big toes. Okay, we're going to open up the legs. So inhale here, lift chest, and then exhale, open up the legs, straighten out as much as we can. So if this is what you can manage, that's cool, stay here, yeah? You don't have to straighten out the legs completely, that's it. Use the core to lift the legs. Okay, 2 more breaths. Keep that core tight for 2. You can do it. One more breath. And we're done. Release the toes, cross the legs, hands onto floor, and then step or pop back into that plank. Now let's do a really slow finishing vinyasa before we move on to our wild card. Inhale here. Exhale, slow chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Oh yeah, feel that lovely back bend there. And then exhale, back to down dog. One inhalation here. And then as we exhale, bend the knees and float or step forward to that forward fold. Allow the spine to relax. As we inhale, ground into the feet, slowly sweep up with the arms, come into your standing position. Extend the arms, hands meet at the top here, and then as we exhale, bring hands to chest. All right, cheers guys. So that was your set sequence for flex. Okay, so now we've just got like a minute and a half, but it's okay if we go a little bit over time, to work into our wild card. So I'm going to do a side crow, all right? So we've got handstands as well, but side crow takes less room and that means there's less chance of an accident happening in your surroundings. So I'm going to come side onto the mat. Okay, knees together into this little squat position on the toes here. And then from here, I'm going to pop my hands onto my side, onto the side of me, fingertips pointing towards the front of the mat. I then want to bring my elbows, so the back one, towards my hip here. So my hip rests on my elbow there. And then with the front elbow, I want the side of my knee to rest on the front elbow. And then you know how we do chaturanga? That's how we want our arms to be. We want that 90 degrees with the arms here. So from here, I'm going to shift my weight forwards, and then get that balance. Okay, so you want your forearms to be completely vertical, head off the floor here, and this is your side crow. To find that balance, and then if it feels good to do so, you can even come into a flying split crow, side split crow there. Okay, so just have a little go, see how it feels. You can stop at any point, okay? Now, if you've never done a crow before, I'm going to show you how to do a standard crow. So that's a side crow. And then let's have a look at some of these side crows. Yeah, looks good there, Paul. Yeah, I can see a leg coming up. I'm assuming I know what's going on there. Okay, so standard crow. Hands onto either side of the shoulders, and then knees onto the insides of the triceps, outsides of the triceps there. We shift our weight forwards, and then we squeeze our feet towards our glutes. If you want to just start by rocking your weight forwards and backwards, just to get used to that movement, that's cool as well. Yeah. Yeah, looking good, Paul. And you, Flora. Okay, that was your wild card, guys. So we're yeah, good. So we're pretty over time. So I'm going to leave you to do your shavasanas by yourselves for as long as you want. Okay, I'm not very good at timekeeping in these classes, but I absolutely loved that. That was really enjoyable, and it was really nice to see everyone else doing it with me as well. I'm going to pop my earpiece in. Okay. Hello there.